Karl Koweski is a displaced Greeking rat, now living in Alabama.
Louder!
He had, okay, I'll start over. Karl Koweski is a displaced Greeking rat, now living in Alabama. He has 3 books, soon to be 4, with Roadside Press. Please welcome Karl Koweski.
Yeah!
Doesn't he wear leather well?
Yes, I'd like to thank Michelle, Dan, and everyone for putting this on. My beautiful wife Donna for suffering through the next 10 minutes. I'd like to thank William Taylor Jr. for loaning me this outfit. Without further ado, it's called Poetry Reading Etiquette. Poetry readings are such awkward occasions for the sensitive soul yearning for record shop validation. There's a tone of voice I would rarely use outside of conversations with William Shatner. As it once stood, the poem ends when the poet stops and silently beseeches the sporadic audience with pleading eyes for some sort of positive acknowledgement. When I read poetry in public, as I sometimes must, when the soul-deadening crush of obscurity obtained through the choice of expressing myself through free verse forces me to engage with word masochists, I make a pact with everyone present. When a poem reaches this lackluster conclusion, I will point into the darkness. If the poem makes sense and perhaps elicits a tingling of sexual gratification, simply give a slight nod of satisfaction. However, if you find the poem to be a bunch of bullshit, a word salad of fan-fictional nonsense written and ultimately performed in a cloud of inebriated, self-celebrating delusion, feel free to extend your middle finger in artistic defiance. Afterward, in the solitude of my poet's lair, I will tabulate the mental accumulation of slight nods and flunk birds and decide there and then for good and all whether I should go on living or just give up and die. This one's going to be a little bit better. I wrote it last night.
New shit!
New shit. I don't know if it's good or not, but we're about to find out. This one's called, It Took Me an Hour and a Half to Drive Back the 15 Minutes to My Fucking Hotel Room. I've never been given directions. I remember the entirety of my youth being awestruck by my mother's ability to remember how to get to River Oaks Mall. We'd get over the Burnham Bridge, and I wouldn't know where the fuck we were. And this went on for years. I grew out of a lot of things through time. Picking my nose, combing my hair, mispronouncing Kerouac, and masturbating to clown porn. But my utter inability to master street signs or compass points has been the herpes of my existence. So last night, upon leaving the poetry reading in this strange new to me city, Toledo, I already knew I was fucked out of the gate. There's a comfort in somewhere out there where all my shit's at. It's dark, despite the full beaver moon. I have no idea where I'm going, but the GPS has a semblance of a travel plan. That soothing, feminine AI voice never wavers in his confidence, sending me onto the freeway, vaguely toward Dayton, Ohio. Now, at some point, I'm becoming increasingly aware that the hotel I rented for this 2-night accommodation is not 36 miles away from the house. But along with my directional retardation, the gods have gifted me with a blasé attitude toward reality and a dodgy accounting for time. When we finally arrive at the Comfort Inn, I'm impressed by how much larger the lobby is, how much cleaner the carpet. and in subtly different patterns too. The outdoor pool has moved inside. This is the wrong fucking hotel, not altogether kindly. My inadvertent nonchalance toward her travel advice has been a pox upon our relationship. But the GPS seemed so certain, that calm, reassuring voice undermining so indifferently. Back at the Jeep, we managed to recreate our trek back to the attic. Everything at once looking both familiar and alien, in the way all urban industrial hellscapes resemble the entire way I'm an angry missile, running red lights, driving one-way streets against traffic. My desperation has seared away every last vestige of the old Polish neighborhood pool. At the attic, I park in the back, take a few breaths long enough to focus, ignore the lost hour and a half, relax, and ask my wife which way we would go. 10 minutes later, we're back at our room eating chocolate frosties and watching stores reruns on A&E. This one's called My Idiot Kid. I happen to mention my retarded son in mixed company and immediately catch the attention of the most sophisticated person at the table. What has he been diagnosed with? She mimics empathy exceedingly well. Her sympathetic tone of voice, virtually indistinguishable from actual concern. Now I'm trapped in a conversational topic that can only reflect poorly upon me. Oh, he doesn't have clinical retardation. Because, fucking retarded. He won't take responsibility for himself. He burns himself boiling water for mac and cheese. He can't change a flat tire. He won't listen to me. He's, fucking retarded. The disdain she treats me with for the remainder of the night, that emotion is real. There's no doubt in my mind she truly believes I'm the asshole, just because my son can't get his shit together. I lost a couple of you with that one. Now, I promised my guru that I wouldn't read any more poems in public about my cock. This one's called Smuggling Sweat Socks. It's about my cock. I was 11 years old the day I decided I might be a little too short in the pants to impress the ladies. I remember looking down at the front of my stonewashed jeans and thinking, there needs to be a much bigger bulge happening here. With my mother shouting at me to quit posing before the mirror, I get ready to go. I grab a pair of balled up sweat socks and shove them down my pants. I enter that goddamn wall like a patron saint of porno stars. Never had an 11-year-old walk with such swagger, such big dick confidence. I did not have a cent in my pocket or a hope to my dreams, but I had this oddly spherical bulge in my pants, enabling my groin to enter KP toys 3 seconds before the rest of me. I tipped a wink and Snap pointed at the cowgirl who regarded me with befuddlement tinged with, I could only hope, sexual curiosity. Surveying the action figures, I readjusted the bulge every 3 seconds until it shifted too far to the left and the sweat socks began the slow descent down my pants leg. Can I help you? The clerk asked, more suspicious than sexually curious, as though she intuitively grasped that not only was I a penile frog, but a lowly sneak thief as well. Model cars and mumbled, where are they? Next aisle over. She stood there waiting for me to make my move, her eyes flickering to the impressive bulge at my side. I knew taking a step would only increase the sock's rate of descent, but I saw no other alternative. By the time I maneuvered around the clerk, my knee was twice its normal size. Something about my sweaty, furtive demeanor prompted the clerk to follow me to the racket store paint, at which point my ankle had swollen. She couldn't take her eyes off me, and I couldn't take my eyes off the model since the balled up socks popped out of my pants leg. I suddenly kicked the incriminating evidence away. The socks rolled toward the clerk's feet. Excuse me, she said, you dropped your socks. Those ain't my socks. I'm wearing them. I lifted my pants leg, revealing nearly identical socks. Those socks were there before I got here. My swagger gone forever, convinced the clerk somehow even now was alerting the rest of womandom to my secret shame. Do we have time for one more?
One more.
You know, Nick Cave wrote the song Higgs Boson Blues, and he was so fucking proud of himself and pleased for writing it, he wrote a postscript to it, and I listened to it, and I couldn't help but think, pompous ass. This poem's called Postscript to Smoking Sweat Socks. I had a complicated childhood. I realized pretty early on I was going to have to struggle just to qualify as unconventionally handsome. It seemed I didn't start growing hair until I was 8 and started losing it at 9. Finally peaking in the 3rd grade provided a unique challenge for the remainder of my existence. I can remember when fellows screaming waves into their bangs was fashionably acceptable, and I convinced my mother to carry me to her beautician so I could get some bounce seared in my mousy brown hair. I could see the pity peer from the hairstylist's green eyes when she said, "Oh, honey, your hair is much too thin for me to be able to do anything with that." I was 12 years old. Most memories consist of humiliating snapshots of trying to surf the tides of social acceptability from ripped jeans and gorgeous screening mullet during my Def Leppard era to dyed black hair and blacked out wardrobe once I discovered 9-inch nails. When the Doors moved to Pre-Married back in 1992, back before it was considered a comedy, I purchased a pair of leather pants and a concho belt from the mall along with a pair of cowboy boots. I wore that ensemble every day for 3 months straight until I got tired of strangers continually asking if I were gay. I retired my leathers the day a random passerby asked how many cows it took to make my costume, and I answered, "Just one, your mom." Being chased in 90-degree heat, bare-chested in leather pants and boots, love bead necklace whipped in my face, did not cry out, "I am the Lizard King." So did I smuggle sweat socks into a toy store when I was 11 years old? You would make a fool out of all of us if you assume anything I read is true. Also, yes, absolutely did show socks down my pants. At the age of 11, after seeing the John Belushi skit on SNL, when I read this poem in public, I can see how my shift growing weird, as if 40 years later I'd still be playing the same games in my water-headed youth. Let me assure you that you can put a whole drawer full of diabetic socks down your pants and it won't make a bulge at all.